So welcome guys, in today's video we're gonna see how to take the user input. If you like this video, do subscribe and share this channel and like. Okay, so over here we're gonna see today we're gonna see how to take user input. And in the previous video we saw what are variables and what are the rules for naming your variables. Okay, so in today's video we're gonna see how to take the input from the user. So the input function, if this function takes the input from the user. So you basically write input, give parentheses, and in that you write your message. So this message is only printed out at the time of execution. Okay, so this is how it looks like when you run it, and I have entered subscribe. Okay, so now let's see this in Visual Studio Code. So here on Visual Studio Code, let's write input. So I have written this, now I'll save it, and now we'll actually run it. So now it's asking me to enter my name. I'll just enter my name. So now I've entered my name. So basically this helps you to take the input from the user, and then this can be stored in a variable. Okay, so now we'll see a small task which you have to complete. So now we'll see the task. So we have to ask the user his name and then print hello plus the name. So if the name is Sam, so it would be hello Sam. Now let's do this in Visual Studio Code. So let's start coding it out. So first, as I told you, you can basically store the input inside a variable, and then you can just print hello and followed by the variable. Okay, so let's see how to do it. Okay, so I've written this code which will actually accept your name and then basically store it inside of this variable. And now we'll print out hello, comma, user name. So now over here we are printing out hello, and basically this comma denotes a white space. Okay, it will just put a white space and then it will print out my name. So there is another way which is called concatenation. Okay, in concatenation basically use a plus. Okay, so to concatenate is to connect two words. Okay, so it will connect hello and username, but it will just remove the white space. It will connect it without a white space. Now you want to add the white space. So what you have to do, you have to make a space over here. Okay, and now we'll actually run it to see the output. Now it's telling me to enter my name, and as you can see you have the output hello arranger printed out over here. Okay, so guys, we have successfully completed a task. So we now know how to store the value of the input inside a variable. Now let's move on. So now after completing this task, let's move on. So now we are going to discuss what are comments. So basically they are sentences which are not going to get executed. So I've made a typo over here. So these are messages for other developers to understand. Okay, so basically these will not get executed. These can be read by other developers. Okay, so over here you can see I've written adding, and then I've written print 1 plus 2. When after running this, you only get to see 3. Okay, you don't see adding. So basically these are for other developers to understand your code. So now let's see this in VS Code. So now in Visual Studio Code, we are going to use the code that we use to complete our task. Okay, so this is where comments can be best used. I'll show you how. So now if I share this file to another developer or my friend, and here he wants to understand this, so I can just write. So first we're taking the user input. So we're taking the user input. Okay, so basically we're taking the user input, then we are simply printing it out with hello. Okay, so if I again run this code, this user input and printing it out with hello, these comments would not get executed. So if I actually write it again, okay, so I got the output hello arranger. Okay, so guys, these are what comments are. Basically, you just have to memorize them as the sentences which are not going to get executed. Okay, so now I'll quickly brush up the points which we learned in today's video. So in today's video, we basically learned how to take the input of the user. You write input, you have to give parentheses, you have to write your message in that. And basically, this input can be stored to another variable. And we completed this small task in which we actually learned how to basically store the input into a variable and then use that variable for different purposes. And then we learned for what comments are. Basically, you have to just memorize them as sentences which are not going to get executed. Okay, that's it for this video. If you have liked this video, do subscribe my channel. It's me logging out.